Welcome to Grab Her by the Mic, the podcast for women who cannot survive certain sounds. Today we're doing a welfare check on Brooklyn Beckham, cosplaying as Rachel Zoe by telling you what your wardrobe essentials are, unpacking Hilary Duff's comeback era, questioning whether my massage was inappropriate, and teaching you how to politely respond when someone suggests that wanting to throw your children into the ocean is just part of motherhood.
What? Wow. I know none of those things that you just dropped, and I'm so excited to hear about them.
So let's do what we always do, pour a glass of wine, spill about our weeks, and ease ourselves in with recap and rosé.
It's recap and rosé, the part where they relive their week like it was national news.
Rosé.
Rosé. First of all, since we are both in the studio, we are both drinking the same thing. What is that there, Philippa?
It's called Amaretti Rosé. It's an Italian rosé. It's a restrained style of rosé. It has complex touches of savory with a burst of fresh fruit and a dry finish.
Okay, well, cheers.
Dry finish.
No comment. Cheers to you.
Cheers.
And tell me, is it as described? Yeah. Bit of savory, bit of bold, bit of dry.
Okay. I like the dry.
Pick that up in Marimbula.
I don't know why I get restaurant vibes from it.
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
You have to go first because I'm too interested.
Okay, so this week there are a couple of things on my mind. My holidays are done. We came back today, but my tolerance for nonsense is not. And I'm going to get into that into my hyperfix. So
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say
Okay.
about our holidays so far. Something that freaked me out a little bit this week is there seems to be a mini shark apocalypse happening in Sydney at the moment. 4 attacks in 2 days, and they've closed down beaches. So I am someone whose entire fear of the ocean is because I rented Jaws in 1999 from
Right.
Blockbuster.
Okay.
I remember the exact going up there, coming
Okay.
back to my friend's place, watching it, and then never going in the ocean again. So I'm formally announcing that I'm never going to go past ankle depth in water again. You have played a big role in
encouraging
me to ocean swim, because I never really would, because I was scared of sharks or any sort of creature in the ocean. But I thought I'd put a little public service announcement out there because I did do a little bit of research. Of course, it's not my hyperfix, but it was something that I kind of had to look into and went, if other people are as neurotic as me when it comes to sea creatures, this might make them feel a little better. Apparently, the recent spate of shark attacks that have happened is because it's what experts are calling a perfect storm. I don't know why you call it anything perfect. People are getting chunks taken out of them, but whatever. So the rain makes the water murky. Bait fish then come in because of that, and then bull sharks follow the bait fish. So they're not actually out there being murderous. They're just confused, which is comforting in theory, but still, again, chunks. But the fact remains that shark attacks are still super rare, so you're statistically more likely to die in a rip than to get attacked by a shark.
So true.
But I will still be forever in the shallows going forward.
No, not on my watch.
Not on your watch?
No. I just think I'm more likely to die going to work each day.
Well, I've seen how you drive. Driving next to you, trying to wave, and all of a sudden you were in my lane. I was like, okay. And that's coming from a very terrible driver, so
Takes one to know one.
I take once to know one.
Yeah.
The other thing that happened to me yesterday was Friday.
Yes, we're recording a day later.
We are recording a day later because we didn't want to do another remote record.
No, we needed to be together.
Yeah, and my husband gave me a bit of side-eye because I was late to the RSL. And I need your opinion on something that happened yesterday because I'm genuinely a little bit confused. I have asked some other people about it since it happened, and they're also a little bit confused. So my back has been sore, so I'm going to go and get a massage. And I booked a 2-hour massage.
What?
Because I thought, why not?
Oh, of course.
And I wanted a break from my kid. So I can't tell if what happened with the masseuse is because she just got bored because she had nothing left to do, or if it's normal. So,
or if you were in the wrong parlour.
No, I don't know if this is some different type of style of massage that I've not experienced.
I want to hear
before.
this.
So we do the back. She goes, okay, turn over. And then at some point, she starts massaging my tummy.
Oh, yeah, that's normal.
My tummy.
Yeah.
Like here.
Yeah.
Stretch marks and all.
Yeah.
It was like she was a baker kneading a big thing of dough. Kneading the dough.
Okay.
Rolling out the dough.
So my question is, was there pressure or was it just a topical rub?
I definitely felt like she was moving organs around a little bit.
Yeah,
It
that's
wasn't
really
a lot of pressure,
good.
but it wasn't just like a light tickle.
Okay, go on. I need to know more.
My back, fine, but my tummy, it is a different texture of skin.
It's a totally different surface.
And it's also the way that she got to my tummy. So everything's normal. So there she's doing the arms on the front. She comes down here a bit.
Yeah.
But you've got the towel or the blanket or whatever that is on top of you up until my clavicle. But in some magical, swift movement, all of a sudden, blanket's down, tucked into my undies, and whoosh, there's some very tiny towel on top of my nipples, just like fighting to survive.
Like a tea towel, like a face washer.
Like a face washer. And of course, I'm lying down, so my nipples are under my armpits.
Surface area ratio was really off.
I think I was covered. Again, I don't have much sensation in my nipples. But
oh my God.
But it was such it was a one-handed swift movement.
She's been there before. She's on her first rodeo.
Yeah. I felt like my dignity was not protected at all. So I was just wondering if that was a normal thing.
That's really normal to have your tummy done.
I've never had that done in all of the massages I've had.
Yeah. I mean, you've got 2 hours. Like, they're running out.
That's what I was thinking. It's like,
they're getting creative now.
Did I sign up for the wrong experience or is she just bored?
No, I think you signed up for the right experience.
Okay.
The intentions were right.
I never know to not ask for it because I'd never had it done. So, if you go for a Brazilian wax, you're like, don't do my ass crack or do, depending on how you feel that day.
Oh.
You know to ask for it.
Yeah, right. It's like when I go for a pedicure, I'm like, no scrape. Don't scrape, I tickle. I will kick you in the head. I'm so ticklish.
Good to know.
Yeah, very, very much.
Good to know. Okay, so it's normal.
Normal.
Everyone else I spoke to said that's not normal. But maybe you go to some seedy place.
But how long?
It was a short amount of time.
I was only there for a moment.
Enough for me to spiral internally in my mind.
Did you tense up?
Yeah, my asshole was so tense.
Was it a Chinese or Thai?
Thai.
Yeah, so I think it would be about metabolism. It's about moving things around and stimulation.
Like my intestines.
Yeah.
Physically moving them around. She's like, I need to shit my pants.
I come from such a wholesome...
Do you?
Oh, well, no, I don't know.
You pretend to.
No, but I was just thinking it'd be really good to stimulate your metabolism. It's nice for your tummy to feel like that. And you're like, I could have shat all over her tea towels that were covering my nipples.
The shit's reaching up there. There's something else wrong.
If the massage is good enough, you never know where it's going to go.
Well, anyway, that's me.
Okay. So 2 hours. It's a long time, Hannah. Did you fall asleep?
No. The worst thing was all I was doing was thinking about segments of the podcast.
Turn my brain off.
Wouldn't turn off. I was thinking about what am I going to buy my dad for his birthday? I'm going to make something. Kind of a macaroni necklace. How was your week?
Speaking of weirdness, I went to a nursing home yesterday. My pop is in a nursing home in Sydney and I went to visit him. And the minute I walked in, you walk down this hallway and I had my kids with me and the 2 kids went out into this garden area and there's residents whose windows look onto the garden area. And I just saw a few little bums of the residents.
Oh.
It set the tone for the visit. It set the tone.
So you saw a few bums.
I'd say 3 bottoms in that one encounter of getting my kids out of the garden area. And my kids go streaming in, screaming, high energy. My mum had just taken them to McDonald's and given them
Soft serve?
No, the soft serve was on the way home. They got chicken nuggets and chips on the way there and a promise for soft serve on the way home if they behaved well.
Parenting is just bribing.
Right. Grandparenting. So if they behaved well, key. We go to see Pop. Pop is one of my most beautiful people in my world. He is my last grandparent that's living. He is 92 this year, 93. So we go downstairs and we're having a little sit down outside and my mum had bought him a soft serve, so he was eating his ice cream. We're downstairs and Hamish is disappearing, coming out, disappearing, coming out.
And well, you know your track record with keeping a track of your kids.
This is an enclosed area, so surely I was like, no one can escape. Well, Hamish comes out and I'm like, what has he got? And over the top of his head, he is holding a whole tree. A whole tree that he'd...
Like a baby tree?
Like a baby tree.
They just planted it?
Yeah. Over his head like a triumph. He was just standing there.
You just walk away and let your mum deal with it? I would have.
Well, I kind of was just like, and there's apartments from residents that live there. So there's nurses out
like
on
assisted
balconies.
living.
Assisted living. This lady looked down and she's like, and I was like, I'm so sorry. I'll put it back in. And so I tried to. It was really dead looking. It was dead looking.
Because your kid had just ripped it out of the ground.
It was deceased. So then he goes on to ride on my pop's walking frame. at about 50 kilometers an hour. He came down a path on my pops.
It's something motorized.
No motorized. Full momentum of a child, 4-year-old boy. Goes like this, hits a brick, comes flying out, holding the branch, and goes splat on the floor. Legs bruised,
Child?
crying. Yep, child. My pop is sitting there with his ice cream thinking, what circus is this? Like
He's also got dementia, so he's
Yeah.
probably like, who is this?
Yeah.
I want to be their friend.
He loves clapping. He thought it was just the biggest performance ever. And he had no idea who we were, why we were there.
Why you were feeding him ice cream?
Yeah, who we were, because he's got the dementia and it's getting
The
worse.
dementia, it's like the diabetes.
The diabetes. Anyway, we go from there and then we make our way back up to the room. And I possibly took my eye off the kids for 30 seconds and they had gone back out into the courtyard. And I'm outside and my mum and auntie were in the room with my pop and getting him settled because we were saying goodbye. And I went to fill up my water bottle at the water station and I came back out into the courtyard and the kids had gotten into the pond, were holding 2 koi fish and were butt naked. Fully nude.
How did they catch the koi fish? Was it that one of them had 2 koi fish or each had a koi fish or each had 2 koi fish?
Hamish had 2. Maggie was potentially screaming because she touched one.
But she was showing her vagina to everyone.
Well, she had her undies on.
Oh, okay,
They both had their undies on. They took their shirts off and their pants off and they were standing in the beautiful garden. Hamish was holding 2 koi fish. And I was like, this is the most triggering experience. I just wanted to come and visit my pop. I've given him a show. Now the show, when I thought I was seeing bums early on, now my kids are the show in the courtyard. And I was so flustered. I literally ran out of there. And that's when I handed my kids over to my mum. And I was like, I've got to go. Like, I'm out, Mum.
Where was your husband?
Oh, he wasn't there. He was at fishing. But honestly, there was bums, there was fish, there was nearly dead fish, there was a dead tree, there was a absolute palaver, and my pop sat there so happy watching.
You know what? That's all that matters. You were there to visit him and to make him happy, and he was happy. Who cares about the other residents?
Yeah. Anyway, 10 out of 10 visit. Happy as Larry to see Pop. But yeah, I always have some traumas when I go there, and that was a really big one.
It's hilarious. Don't treat it as a trauma. Just treat it as a learning experience. Leash your kids next time you go in.
I don't know. Maybe I need to put them in the cloak closet or something.
Don't they have a creche?
No.
Similar, right? Like
On the other end of life there.
no, but it's the same sort of skills you need. Early childhood development and end of life care.
When we got there, it was the cutest thing.
Was it?
After the bums, but we went downstairs and they were doing karaoke. They were all sitting around singing Dancing Queen.
The old people.
All the old people. It was the cutest thing. I just am on such a whirlwind when I'm there. There's sadness, there's happiness. My kids were wild. My pop's got lollies in his room. There's nudity from everyone but me.
I mean, that's first.
Yeah, may happen one day. Maybe I'll go in there and I'll run out of there screaming naked. Anyway, but I've had a good week. Can't really remember, but that really topped off my week Friday.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of memories of the week either. I think it's that getting back from holidays, everything's a bit of a blur because you didn't know what day it was up until.
I'm a bit mushy in the brain. But anyway, good week. Cool.
Okay, now that we've had our wine and our little overshare, let's move on to the segment where we publicly hold ourselves accountable.
Folks, these resolutions, embarrassing, 2 total disasters. It's time for Resolutions Reality Check.
Resolutions reality check. Again, no shame, only data. My resolution was to be happy. Your resolution was
To grow.
to grow. Our podcast resolution was to create community. So what we need to do is rate, provide the receipts, and set a micro goal for next week. Short, sweet, simple, quick. Rating scale. Smug, killing it. Delusional, not killing it. On it in theory, mostly did our best. Under investigation, are we even going to try again? I'll go first. Go. My micro goal was to go to bed at a consistent time for at least 4 nights.
Mm-hmm.
I'm rating myself delusional.
I thought you were going to go the other way.
No. Yeah, like I said a micro goal to go to bed at a consistent time 4 nights a week, and then I proceeded to not do it one single time.
Really?
Yeah, it's now Saturday and my sleep schedule is still based entirely on scrolling and just one more thing, energy.
Hannah.
I know, very bad. So let's reach lower. My micro goal next week is to be in bed, not be asleep by 10:30, 2 nights, at least 2 nights next week. That is my micro goal.
Okay, so tell me by 10:30. I think you need to try to go earlier so your wind down happens earlier.
Again, low-hanging fruit. I'm in bed by 10. I feel like it's really early. So I think 10:30 is fair enough.
Okay, fair enough.
How did you go?
I had a funny week. I'm going to go delusional.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I've had a really funny week.
Why do you say that?
I am a scatterbrain this week. This week has ended in a way that I was overwhelmed. Not about anything really, but I think it's that pending, I'm going back to work next week. I have nearly been off for 8 weeks. I am very, very lucky. However, it doesn't make it easier going back.
But how has that affected your goal to grow?
Because I've done nothing but clean my house, spring clean and avoid, which is my go-to when I'm feeling anxious. My only thing that calms me is cleaning because it's a full distraction. And my goal is to do everything but what I'm supposed to be doing.
Okay, so what is your micro goal for next week to get you back on track?
So micro goal next week is to really settle into my new routine. And I have alarms set for the week that it's 1 hour each night instead of scrolling to focus on that growth.
So your micro goal, I guess, is listening to the alarm and doing something that you believe
Listening
is
to the
helping you
alert
grow.
and going, right, what is it that I need to do today or right now to help me further my growth? And it could be as simple as meal planning. It could be as simple as setting up a schedule for myself each night of the week on how I can hit the little goals. But actually having time where I just look at the growth and where I need to grow.
Focus on it. And that's the only thing that you're there to do.
And I guess making little changes I've been trying to do, but just trying to be so good at sticking to them is really hard for me.
Point of this is micro goals and lowering your expectations so they're more achievable.
Yeah.
Just focus on, okay, the alarm's gone off. I'm actually going to focus on that 3 nights next week.
Yeah. I think I'm going to start with half an hour a day because I think for consistency, I need to roll into each day to be productive.
Great.
I think if I do 3 nights, I'll do it tomorrow night. I'll keep rolling it.
And easier than to go, oh, the whole week's fucked. Let's start again next week.
But at least if I say, all right, I missed Monday, I have to do Tuesday. So, yeah. But little things, small changes, hopefully. I'm mush this week.
Fair enough.
Don't know why.
Well, the podcast goal, create community. I'm rating us, which I'm rating my effort on create community, and you can do the same, but I'm rating it honoured in theory.
Okay.
So, okay. I forgot to post our second listener check-in. That's a very simple thing. It's just rinse and repeat what I posted last week, but forgot to do that. But a complete stranger on TikTok, not a friend, not a pity follower, because remember TikTok, we don't follow anyone and none of our friends are on TikTok, commented, so relatable, with laughing emojis on one of our clips, which is basically our first sign of life in the wild.
Aww.
So I feel like that was a big...
That's amazing.
That's amazing. Next week, micro goal is to actually post the listener check-in and reply to every comment if we have them, like a professional content creator and not a feral goblin.
Mm-hmm. Feral goblin. Oh my God, I just dribbled as I said it. So our community, I have reached out to someone who is a family friend who is in the industry. She's in social media, podcasting, influencers, all of the stuff. And she'll know who we are because she's going to listen to all of our episodes. So shout out to her. I'm going to call her B. She'll know who she is. She's going to listen to all our episodes and I've asked her to give us honest feedback because feedback is a gift, as we know. Honest feedback and tells us where we should be tapping into a little bit more and give us a bit of idea of how we can restructure. And we're doing really well. Just someone who has that professional lens to look at us and give us some guidance around areas for improvement, strategies, but I'm here to hear it. Her feedback from what she's seen from our general social media, she says she really likes the vibe and the content is good so far, so which is good for us.
Love it. We'll check back in next week and see if our micro goals survived reality. And now that we're done with accountability, let's get into things that absolutely hijacked our minds this week and turn it into content.
Believe me, I know obsession, I invented it, but these two next level, it's the hyperfix.
Let's get into the hyperfix.
The hyperfix. Hannah and I had a phone call.
So we're doing our welfare check on Brooklyn Beckham now.
It's a welfare check.
So we did, I think I branded it emergency hotline. We're always doing a little quick emergency call. But yeah, they're going to be called emergency hotline. They're a different color in the feed. They're purple. So yeah, I asked you to give us an update.
So I feel like we needed to touch on what is happening. And I've called this segment of touching base around the Brooklyn saga Spice World War.
Spice World War.
Yeah.
Love.
And it's around the Beckham family drama. We've known now that Brooklyn Beckham has gone fully rogue and accusing Mum Victoria and the family of being controlling, and the whole Beckham brand has now got this icky light shining on.
They're now a meme.
Yeah, lots of memes, which we posted on our Instagram, which honestly make me cry. I laugh so much I cry.
There are so many different angles.
I know, I love it. I have to ask you a question and whose side you're on. So we know now that the family feelings between Peltz Beckham and Beckham is not great. The flashpoint, his wedding to Nicola, we came to see more tension come out this week than we've seen on probably any reality TV show reunion in the past decade. So I guess what we're learning now as things are unfolding, a lot of people are picking sides.
Yeah, but it's based, sorry.
Go.
What I've seen from all the memes is it's definitely based on the generation of the person.
Yes.
And their relationship with the Spice Girls.
Yeah, I would agree.
In particular.
Yeah. Brooklyn has gone out and said, no more, or my lawyers are going to deal with everything.
No more contact with the family.
Yeah, no more. I'm done. Family now has to go through my lawyers. But Victoria's responding in a way that I've never quite known anyone to respond.
Is she responding at all?
That's right. She's gone for flawless outfits. She's posting outfits that are flawless.
But is her posting any different to what it was before?
It's a little louder. It's frequenting. She's posted about Cruz.
She's posted a lot about Cruz, and Cruz has posted shade.
Yeah. Well, yes, there's all of that. The dimensions of the brothers, the fallout, them blocking him, all of that sort of happening. Harper just doesn't, I mean, she's a lot younger.
She's like 9, isn't she?
No, she's actually a teenager. But Victoria and David always seem to baby her. Well, she's the baby and she's the only
She's the only girl.
And so this is what we're seeing. But you're seeing people like Bethany Frankel making comment.
Of course she is. She can't shut her mouth, that one.
She cannot. You've got people like her weighing in. You've got people like in different generations. You've got ex-girlfriends of Brooklyn's now speaking up saying, oh, Victoria wasn't
So
very
children.
kind. Yeah, children. So you've got the younger generation and then you've got the older generation.
Which one are we?
This is it. But I also see a trend in those that side with Victoria with the Meghan and Harry palaver. They side with the royal family.
That's a generational thing.
That's what I'm saying. There's a real pattern. If I ask anyone, my mum's friend came over the other day and I said, no, I'm on Brooklyn's side. And she said, no, I'm on Victoria's side. And she said, well, who do you back in the Meghan and Harry? And I'm like, Meghan and Harry. I don't love Meghan, but I can respect their choice.
So you're on Brooklyn's side.
Yeah.
I'm on the Beckham. I'm on the parent side.
Oh, what?
I just think he's an ungrateful little shit.
I guess so. This is what my mum's friend was saying the other day.
He would not even have any connections to Nicola Peltz. He wouldn't be where he is without that. Like, he thinks he's a chef. Have you seen this? I watched him make carbonara and burn the pancetta. And then he still posted it and he's like, yum. And I'm like, that is going to give you scrotum cancer.
That's carcinogenic, doll.
Cancer. Yeah, the burnt bits of meat give you prostate cancer, apparently, along with everything else in the world. Like I said on the 6-minute emergency hotline, he's just so not grounded in any level of reality.
No, I think my algorithm's telling me I should be on Brooklyn.
So your algorithm thinks you're a different generation.
Younger.
Your loyalty should be with the Spice Girls.
Well, I just think the accusations are so big that surely they have gusto behind them. Surely they have.
Okay, so then pull your panties up and release the wedding videos. Why aren't they released yet? Show us the inappropriate dancing.
Yeah.
Actually show us the weight behind it. But even so, again, without your name, you would be no one.
He wouldn't. Yeah, you're right. He would be no one. But he's also a boy who's been hurt by his family. He wouldn't just decide to up and leave.
Yeah, that's fine. Like, I'm definitely not someone to keep family matters private. But I think that at that level of fame, some of that shit should keep private.
I mean, the whole thing's a bit tacky, really. And I think that David only saying, oh, kids make mistakes. And
They do make mistakes, but there's errors all in his whole story. Like the wedding dress thing, there's a whole article in Vogue that her dress took a year to make. And you're saying she had to go and get it at the last minute?
yeah, well,
So
she had multiple looks when I looked into it.
yeah, that's fine. So pick one of those other multiple looks.
She could wear one for 45 minutes longer than the other.
The pulling of the dress for what reason wasn't going to completely devastate her. So why even mention it?
Yeah.
And also not even mention why the dress was pulled. Why did she cancel the dress at the last minute? So you're not going to mention that because clearly
There was reason.
there might have been reason. I think his statement seems a little vapid.
I wonder if now there will be a mediation of some sort. So what's the next step? How do we move forward?
I don't know because it's not like the Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie child abuse on the plane situation.
Totally
Like there's
different.
no need for anyone to properly investigate and find things. This is a family matter. And I do think he seems very ungrateful. I do think there's a side of, yes, you should side with your wife once you're married and you choose that family in a way to a degree. But the publicity of it all is what gets me. Because
Yeah.
they haven't come out publicly and said anything. And if you're going to come out and say that and make a statement in that way, provide the receipts, show the wedding video, tell us why the dress was pulled, versus just picking and choosing the bits of the story that seem heinous and putting it into a statement. He's not a child, he's a
I
man.
know, I keep saying that.
Remember that. Sir, that is a grown man. That's going on a t-shirt.
Yeah, and I wonder if she's devastated or if she's just like, I'm done.
Who?
Victoria.
She would be devastated.
He doesn't come much for his dad. There's a lot of mum this, mum didn't do that.
Isn't the dad the one that fucked the nanny? So should he not come for the dad?
Yeah, it's so screwed up. And I wonder if there will ever be a reconciliation. But I thought it was interesting the parallel of ages who sits supporting royal family, and I think my algorithm's feeding me. Because then I got this montage of her dancing in the last decade, and then David had to carry her out on a piggyback because she just gets so wasted because she's as big as a minute, and she's, fluffing around on every dance floor. And I'm like, I bet you she did dance inappropriately.
She is a pop star.
Spice Girl.
She's a Spice Girl. What do you expect?
Who cooks carbonara?
I don't know if it was carbonara, but and then what about his photo book? Honestly, he should go back to photography. I think you'd be much more successful taking photos of elephant in shadow.
They were so funny.
Again, I wonder how many brain cells he has, honestly, with the stuff that he does.
I would probably get along really well. I think that we could possibly agree that it is screaming less wannabe and more say you'll be there in mediation. My favorite song.
I love how pleased you are with yourself.
I feel so old. Which brings me to my new hyperfix.
Okay. So you, again, have picked 2 hyperfixes for the week.
Oh, not hyperfix. SideQuest. Sorry.
Well, it's not SideQuest time.
No, I know.
Are you okay?
No, I told you. Something is wrong. I went to the fridge today and the garbage bags were in the fridge. I'm very not
So
well.
is that your hyperfix then?
That's my hyperfix.
Is there anything else you fixated on this week before we move on to my rant?
There is. And I think you're going to like this one. Hilary Duff. Duff is the worst last name you could possibly have.
Up the duff. How's your muff?
Pretty tough. So she's obviously come back after a long hiatus with a new album set to release on the 2nd of February.
Oh, I didn't realize she's got a whole new album out.
So she's released 2 singles as part of her album that's coming out in February. And we've got Roommate and we've got Mature. Don't know how I feel about that word. The song is kind of cool, but Roommate is the better of the 2. Which I've listened to both. So big hiatus. She's come back and she's also in my algorithm this week. She looks phenomenal.
Oh, yeah, like Amanda Seyfried in The Housemaid. Looks 10 years younger than she did 20 years ago.
Did you see the dry lips though?
I didn't notice it.
Tell me to hurry up so you don't have to edit.
Sorry.
And then you go on with...
Shh, be quiet, let's go.
So Hilary obviously has returned to the stage and she's dropped 2 singles. She was an actor before she started her singing career, which I thought was really interesting. And then she went from acting, singing, and then became a mum. And then the hiatus started.
And then she was acting. She was in Younger,
Younger.
which is an amazing series. Love it.
What I like is that she has not just dropped these singles, but she's doing the live show straight away.
She's leaning right into it. I've
Yeah.
never seen a millennial so confident in themselves.
Yeah, what she's doing in those same shows is what dreams are made of from the Lizzie McGuire movie. She just makes it so energetic. And I think connecting from what she did in the past to the new releases of the new singles, I think it's really clever because it reminds us who we're liking again, because it's been such a big gap in terms of her singing career.
Yeah.
And I immediately went back to that stage of her singing and belting out, and I just listened to it 100 times.
Recently as well, there was talk of the Lizzie McGuire comeback, which didn't happen. I'll have to fact check this, but I'm pretty sure it was going to happen. She wanted it to happen and then it didn't. Something got cock blocked. And now she's then revising old songs for the new material. Is there a link there?
Of it not going ahead and now her bringing it back?
Potentially, because she was going to bring back the zeitgeist of Lizzie McGuire and let people remember why she was famous in the first place. And a lot of her songs were through Lizzie McGuire and stuff too, from memory. That didn't happen, so I wonder how long she's been writing this new album.
I think it's been in the works for a while. I unfortunately think they're not as catchy as what she was doing when she was Lizzie McGuire, but that was a really long time ago.
Is she writing them though, or is someone else writing them?
I don't know. No idea.
'Cause I'm wondering, is it a difference of, is she more involved in the writing, or is it two different ghost writers, or whatever it is?
I get the vibe from the video, the music video, and that the words that are in the song, it's very much leaning into her now in this new era of life.
Yeah, is the mature one not about a relationship where she might have been a bit young for the man she was with?
Correct. I just don't know if I would have called it mature.
Well, I thought she called it mature because that's one of the lines this man said to her, that she was mature for her age.
Yeah. And
Which is predatory.
it is predatory. Absolutely. So because I think she's got a lot to do with it, the writing.
Yeah, I do too. But I would say she would have had barely anything to do with the writing of her old songs because she was a
They
child.
would have been given to her.
Yeah.
And I love the way she makes a joke of this herself when she is doing the Lizzie McGuire choreography.
You have to have confidence to do that.
Yeah, she looks good. Now, I hear you've got a rant. I want to hear your rant.
Oh, so we're done with Hilary.
We're done with Hilary. Watch this space with Hilary.
So my rant is about kids' ADHD holidays. So we finished our holiday today. We came back literally today. What I noticed over the last week of the holidays, the kids have reached the end of their tether, which is understandable. So they are obviously more whingy, more short-tempered, more everything, bickering like an old couple and just literally driving me insane. And there are a few moments in the past week where the kids have been whinging and I could feel myself starting to tense, starting to not be able to cope, and then therefore trying to step in before it escalated for my own good. And just to be told, oh, just ignore them, just block it out, they'll stop eventually. So I tell the truth, but I overinflate it for comedic effect, which is basically my whole personality. And I can't stand the constant whinging. In all honesty, it just makes me so irrationally angry, like I could just toss them into the ocean and not look back. Bit dramatic. On brand for me. Isn't that just motherhood? ADHD brains have different sensory processing. Like, I feel that all the time. I get angry when my kids whinge. It's just part of being a mum. I really wanted to explain that what I experience cannot be the same thing that other mums are experiencing when their kids whinge. Explain that I'm not being dramatic, I'm not being unreasonable or a bad mum. But then I realized that without actually living inside my brain and feeling what happens in my head and in my body when that whinging starts, I just really don't think that anyone could understand. Because for me, when whinging starts, it's not just annoying. It's not just like, oh, those kids are so annoying. It's like my whole nervous system locks into that sound and I cannot think about anything else at the time. I cannot tune it out. I cannot push it into the background and make a background noise. It becomes the only thing in my entire universe when that's happening. And it makes me very angry. And then I can feel my irritation going from 0 to 100 in 3 seconds flat. And I immediately, on top of that, get guilty because I'm like, why are you like this? Why are you this person? Why can't you just cope? Why can't you just be a normal mum and react in a normal way about all of this? It's not just in my head, it's in my body. And the best way I can describe is that I feel like the sound comes in my ears, swirls around my head. It doesn't matter about the decibel of the sound. It could be loud, ragey whinging, or it could be just making noise and whinging for the sake of it because they know it's shitting me. And I still feel it. It's like it swirls around in my head. Then I feel it physically go down the back of my spine and into my fingertips, which are clenched in my hand because at this point I'm just trying to feel anything and notice anything else that's going on. It's not just emotional, it's physical. And the sound turns into a sensation. It takes over my whole nervous system and I can't escape it. And I know this can't be how neurotypical brains and neurotypical mums feel, because there is a real difference between neurotypical annoyance and ADHD sensory overload, which is what happens when the whinging happens. And I think for a lot of people, yes, it's annoying, but they can let it just sit in the background of their life and they can keep cooking dinner. They can keep having a conversation. They can just keep existing.
They can tune it out.
They can tune it out. Whereas for me, I can't. I can't think. I can't focus. And I can't be present. My body literally goes straight into fight or flight mode, like there's an actual threat. And it's not just the whinging. It could be repetitive sounds, repetitive questions, which I get a lot with Noah, or just making noises for the sake of making noises because they like the sound of their own voice. And it's just the overlapping sounds in general. My brain doesn't filter it out, it doesn't prioritize it, and it doesn't fade anything out. It treats every single overlapping sound as urgent at that time. So I did what I always do, and I hyper-focused on that for a few days. And when I looked it up, because of course I did, and I want to be ready for the actual science of why not being dramatic, and there's actual reasons as for why I react in the way that I do. First one, a lot of ADHD brains are really bad at filtering out sensory input. There's a thing called sensory gating and inhibition, which is basically the brain's spam filter. It's a part that's meant to go, that's not important, you can ignore that, focus on this over here. And in ADHD, it's either underpowered or it's straight up on strike and it's not there at all. So instead of sorting through the different inputs, dampening it, everything comes through in my brain or in ADHD brains at full volume, full intensity.
Are they all simultaneously happening?
Yes, it's like a cacophony. And on top of that, ADHD brains are also bad at habituation, which means that we don't easily get used to repetitive sounds. So the whinging doesn't just fade into the background, it just stays sharp and in front of mind. And then you bring in the nervous system piece, because ADHD brains are much more likely to flip into fight or flight when they're overloaded. So what might look like on the outside, me overreacting, on the inside, it's an actual physical stress response that I cannot control my nervous system reacting to. And whinging also, on top of this, is the worst possible combination because it's repetitive and it has a specific frequency that cuts straight through you and comes with the emotional weight and obligation and guilt. So I think for mums, my understanding, and I will fact check this, is that you're hormonally wired to respond to your child's crying, they're whinging, their specific frequency, because if it's your kid sitting at the table whinging, I don't get this. It's my kids specifically, and I cannot tune it out. So my brain's going, make it stop. But at the same time, it's telling me to be a good mum, mum and act normal.
There's already too much going on.
There's already too much going on. And those things are in direct conflict. So that's how I end up feeling like a monster. So when someone assumes that we all have the same internal experience, it really hits hard because at the end of the day, we don't.
No.
And some people are dealing with just simple irritation, and some of us are dealing with an actual nervous system overload, reacting in a way that they have no control over. And it doesn't make us worse or weaker or less patient. It just means that our brains don't have a great spam filter. And I am going to put all the links to show notes into what I read so that people can go down the rabbit hole if they want to, because I think a lot of women with ADHD walk around feeling like they're failing at life or failing at being a mum or failing at parenting and coping, when it's actually just the brain processing the world at a much louder volume than other people's. So I think it's really important to equip yourself with those facts and that knowledge so you can understand what you're going through and be kind on yourself.
Yeah, but I also think it's really helpful from my perspective to know that as a friend, if that's happening in our daily lives together, if I can see that happening and why you're acting in a certain way, I think it's a really good educational piece for people.
Yeah.
To not be judgmental on mothering or parenting, or thing. It's a really good eye-opening opportunity for us to talk about. No one has the same.
Yeah, ADHD or not, everyone's experience, internal processing is their own.
If we all did things exactly the same way, how boring. But there's reasons that person does their things differently, and we don't judge that, and we stay focused on our own kids. But, it's a good opportunity for other people to tap in. James taps in for you beautifully.
And he does. I've noticed a lot throughout the holidays he's noticed my look when it's heading in that way.
Yeah, he's fully aware. And that's
fully
great.
Steps in straight away.
Yeah. But you do that for him too. There's moments.
I do, but he definitely has less. But after doing that research deep dive, I felt a little bit better because I know that I wasn't being dramatic and that my brain is just wired differently. And Sometimes the most self-aware and responsible thing that I can do is just to remove myself from those situations, put headphones on and go sit somewhere quietly like a Victorian child with the vapors before I lose my mind. I wasn't going to bring it up on the podcast, but I wanted to bring it up because I discovered that there was the science behind it, and it's me who is super researched on it doesn't actually know that. I'm sure there are a lot of other mothers that might be feeling guilty or not understanding why they just can't cope, and it's just here trying to equip them and give them the facts. So if you are like me and you've got a neurospicy brain and others don't seem to understand why you're overreacting, tell them this: their brains have noise cancelling. Your brain has surround sound.
That's a really good insight to the whole thing. I love it. I think it's really good that you're talking about it.
Yeah, the whole point that I wanted to platform on this podcast was, as I learned with my recent diagnosis, what I was going through and how my brain was reacting. And, as I did notice these things, I didn't notice it when I wasn't diagnosed, but I noticed it when I was diagnosed, and I felt really lonely when I did notice it because I was surrounded by people who didn't understand.
And you didn't understand
And
for
I
a
didn't
while.
understand. So you got a lot of women in their 30s getting this diagnosis and probably feeling in this way. So I thought it was a good thing to bring up in the Hyperfix.
I think you can be really hard on yourself as a mum at the best of times.
Yeah, 100%. If you do have ADHD, your emotional regulation is a lot worse, and therefore your emotions are a lot stronger, and you can be a lot harder on yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that was a lot.
It's a lot, but it's great.
So let's pivot into the unserious part of the pod. It's time for the SideQuest, the part of the show where this week Philzy is going to make us play a game where I will inevitably embarrass myself.
These ladies cannot stay on topic for 5 seconds. This is the SideQuest.
Quick disclaimer. The SideQuest this week is much funnier and makes way more sense if you're watching the video. So if you're listening and it sounds like chaos, that's because it is. So tell me, what are we doing? What are we playing?
So we're playing a game, and I bring such amazing things.
This is the first time you've prepared anything other than yourself.
One and done. They say one and done. Okay, so the segment we're going to do is called Can You Hear Me Now? And it's where we're going to put you with headphones on, a very loud song in your ears, and then your noise cancelling over the top. And I'm going to say a series of words. I'm going to mouth them to you.
I love it when you mouth things to me.
Mouth. You're going to try and guess what I'm saying. We'll have 3 practice words and then we'll get straight in.
Perfect. So you've also prepared me earlier and given me your manky headphones, which I'm super glad to be able to share earwax with you. Honestly, it's a step in the right direction for sharing everything else. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to put on loud music and let you know when I'm ready. Is that what you want me to do?
Yeah.
Okay. Stand by. I'm going to put on Taylor Swift's new album.
Ophelia. Okay, so we're going to go into the practice round.
Yeah. Hold on. Let's let the beat drop.
I feel like you're going to yell. Ready? Okay. Busy.
Penis.
No. Busy.
Busy.
Yes.
Hold on. Let me just shove this into my ear more. I clean my ears every day.
Okay, ready? Snack.
Sept.
No, snack.
Snack.
Yeah. Okay. Last one. Goblin. Goblin.
Droplin.
Goblin.
Giblets. Goblin.
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Yapping.
Nappy.
Yapping.
Naplan.
Yapping.
Zeph.
Yapping.
Yippee.
Okay, no. Fermented.
Fermented.
Yeah. Unhinged.
Why did you growl?
I don't know why I'm also whispering. Unhinged.
Unhinged.
Gremlin. Gremlin. Gremlin.
Gremlin.
Yeah. Okay, ready? Moist.
Boys.
Moist.
Mo-
Moist.
Moist. Yeah.
Okay, ready? Toot. Toot.
Drool.
Toot. Toot. Toot.
That's not a word. It's too short.
The word.
Okay. Boy.
No. Slay. Slay.
Snail. No.
Slay.
Okay, not slay.
Okay, ready? Noodle. Noodle.
You.
Noodle.
Yule.
Noodle.
Yoo-hoo. Yoo-hoo.
They're my favourite so far.
It's getting into another. I just gotta wait for the beat to drop.
You don't have to yell.
Sing, they brought me over the pill.
Okay, this one's
Okay, ready.
This is appropriate. Screaming.
Twerking.
Screaming.
Are you saying gremlin again
No.
for the third time?
Screaming.
Dreaming.
No. Close.
Dreaming.
No. Close. Screaming. Okay, ready? Unwell.
Aqua.
Unwell. Unwell.
Hormones. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again.
Unwell.
What?
Un-
The problem, it's me. Sorry, do it again.
unwell.
Annual. No.
You ready? Spicy.
Spicy.
Yeah. Okay. Chaos.
Xanax. Do it again.
Wobble.
Wobble. Bobble.
Wobble. Crumbs. Crumbs.
Crohn's.
Zesty.
Destiny.
So angry. Zesty.
Dusty.
Close. Okay, last one. Because you didn't get it before. Toot. Toot.
Cooked.
You're cooked. Toot.
Chook.
Toot toot.
Toot toot.
Well done. Okay, top favorites, those ones, was toot. You decided that toot was... So that was toot. And then what was the other one? Noodle.
Noodle.
No, you said another one. It was so funny. One when you went, yippee. What was yippee?
Yoo-hoo.
Yoo-hoo.
That was noodle?
No, that was...
I thought I got it right.
Yoo-hoo was... Oh, I think that was noodle. But toot and you going... And then I said a word and you go, yoo-hoo. And I'm like, I love it. She's so not on the...
But I thought I got it right.
Really well done. Good fun.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so from chaos to intentions, it's time to pretend we're aspirational and wrap up with our weekly manifest.
Weekly manifest. Great. They're doing motivational speeches yet again.
Are you ready? I'm ready. I'm going to hold my crystal.
Would you like to explain?
No, I'm not talking about it. It hasn't been washed nor charged, but I'm ready.
Yeah, but you know that something's going to happen.
Patty said to me, no, not another crystal.
Isn't that not the one that you had at Culburra?
No. This is a different one.
I'm really concerned of how many you have now. This week, we will not judge ourselves for needing quiet, space, or noise-cancelling headphones like Brooklyn Beckham avoiding his family group chat. We will manifest Hilary Duff comeback confidence, even if we are simply returning to the same personality we had before the school holidays broke us. We will remember that if Brooklyn Beckham can survive whatever is happening in his life, so can we.
Amen.
We will set boundaries with our children, with other people, and with anyone who thinks touching our tummy during a massage is a normal choice. And most importantly, we will move through the world with the energy of someone who is unbothered and emotionally unavailable to unnecessary nonsense.
I'm here for all of those things.
Looks like your headphones had a stroke.
It has. Should I show the camera? It's actually...
I don't know how you did that.
It's just...
But honestly, it's the crystal.
It's not. I just picked up the crystal. I'm going to call your husband. Oh, don't.
Patrick, it's happened.
It's happening.
The crystal strikes again.
Like, what hospital is she at? So he looked at me and he's like, not another crystal. I was like, oh, okay.
And you're like, but my ex-boyfriend. He's like, no.
I was trying to find my neurosensory. Anyway, don't know what I was trying to. Not my ex-boyfriend at a pool, that's for sure.
Okay, so if this episode made you feel seen, validated, or slightly less alone in your sensory meltdown, follow the podcast wherever you listen. Share it with a friend who is one repetitive noise away from committing a minor crime, and leave a review, but only if it's positive. And preferably before a shark gets you or posh spice grinds up on you inappropriately.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for listening.
This is Grab a Butter Mike, and we will
See you next Tuesday.
Bye.
Chaos Correctional. We have a situation, a very serious situation. They were wrong. Again.
All right, it's time for Chaos Correctional. This is the part of the podcast where we fact check ourselves before someone on the internet does it for us with a PowerPoint and a bad attitude. First, a serious note about the shark attacks. A young boy has died in one of the recent shark attacks in New South Wales. That's horrific, it's devastating for his family, and it's not something to joke about. Full stop. The perfect storm explanation that I mentioned, murky water, bait fish, bull sharks moving close to shore, is real, and it explains why it happened. But it doesn't make it less tragic. So jokes aside, that part is genuinely very sad. The tummy massage situation. Okay, let's talk about my emotional support trauma. The tummy massage. Good news. Abdominal massage can be normal in Thai massage and some other traditional massage styles. It's often used for things like digestion, bloating, gut motility, and general relaxation of the abdominal area. But, and this is a big but, it should always be explained first. And consent should be clear. Draping should not feel like a Cirque du Soleil magic trick. So, the concept is normal. The execution, in my case, still emotionally confronting. And to clarify Philzy's comment about metabolism, there is no real evidence that massage meaningfully boosts your metabolism in a weight loss sense. It can help with relaxation, circulation, and in some cases constipation or gut movement, but it's not secretly burning calories while someone needs you like focaccia. Burnt pancetta, prostate cancer, and the Beckhams. Let's clear a few things up. There is evidence that very high temperature cooking, like charring or burning meat, creates compounds that are associated with an increased cancer risk. That does not mean one burnt carbonara equals immediate prostate cancer. It means regular consumption of heavily charred meats over time is not ideal. So Brooklyn, your carbonara is not a crime, but it is a culinary cry for help. Yes, the burnt carbonara video exists. I'll link it in the show notes so you can all suffer with us. The Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie plane incident. There was an investigation by the FBI. There were no charges. Child Services also reportedly made no findings of abuse. So the correct wording is, allegations were investigated, no charges were laid. On to David Beckham cheating. There have been many allegations over the years, famously in the Rebecca Loos era. There was no formal confirmation. So, widely reported rumours, but not confirmed by Camp Beckham. The brothers Beckham, Cruz and Romeo. Both Cruz and Romeo did post shade aimed at Brooklyn recently in a now deleted TikTok video. There's an article from Page 6 that covers it, and yes, I will link that in the show notes because this family is now basically a soap opera. So yes, the siblings are involved and they are choosing sides publicly. Hilary Duff timeline check. Hilary Duff was an actor first. Think Lizzie McGuire era. Then she launched her pop career in the early 2000s alongside that fame. Some songs were associated with Lizzie McGuire projects and soundtracks, but she also had a separate proper pop career with her own albums. For her new songs, Mature and Roommate, she does have writing credits on both. But back in the Lizzie era, she generally did not write most of her big hits. Those were mostly written for her. As for why her song is called Mature, the lyrics reference one very gross and very common "You're so mature for your age" line, which is not great. I couldn't find a direct quote from her explaining the title, but the song pretty clearly points to that experience. Last thing on our list, are you hormonally wired to respond to your own kid's whinge? Yes, you actually are. Research shows that parents' brains respond more strongly to their own child's cries than to other children. Your brain is literally built to go, this one's your responsibility. So when you combine that with ADHD sensory processing issues, poor sensory filtering, or nervous system overload, it makes complete sense that your own kid's whinge feels physically unbearable in a way that other noises don't. You're not weak, your brain is just on maximum alert mode. Okay, so let's wrap it up. Shark attacks are tragic and a child has died. No joke, full stop. Tummy massage is actually normal in Thai massage, but consent and warning would have been nice. Burnt meat won't instantly kill you, but eating a lot of charred stuff isn't great. Yes, the cursed carbonara video is in the show notes. Brad Pitt was investigated, not charged. David Beckham has rumours, not proof. Cruz and Romeo did shade Brooklyn. Receipts in the show notes. Hilary Duff was an actor first, then a pop star, and she helped write her new songs. And yes, your brain is literally wired to lose its mind more at your own kids whinging. I'm going to put all the links in the show notes so you can deep dive if you want to. As always, this is Chaos Correctional, no shame, just slightly better information. See you next Tuesday.